Hi everyone, VortexTCG here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you my current build and my current thoughts on the UlforceVeedramon deck that I've been showcasing to you guys in my latest gameplay videos. It's definitely a little bit more different than a normal, typical build of UlforceVeedramon would look like. I feel like my version is a little bit more greedy, but I feel like it has some good things and bad things going for it, and I'll explain those in the video today. And if you're looking forward to the deck profile, I would definitely appreciate a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated, and let's get straight into the deck profile. Alright, and so let's get into the deck profile for my Ulforce list. I'm going to be starting off with the eggs, which is going to be the 4 Wanyamon. If I'm being perfectly honest, this is just probably the best generic blue egg that you can play, and especially in this deck because it is just essentially a guaranteed draw 1 because, well, you'll be playing mostly with Tamers anyways, so you play 4 of this, you don't really play another egg because there isn't really a better option, and I'd rather have my eggs more consistent than have more eggs. So let's get into the level 3s now, and I'm going to be starting off with the BT11 Vmon. This is your searcher of the deck, allows you to search for a Digimon card with Veedramon in its name and also a blue Tamer card from among them. So any blue Tamer that you can get, you can add, and that's very important because we like Tamers in this deck, it turns out. So and also has inheritable or when it's your turn, once per turn. When you play a blue Tamer, gain 1 memory. You'll be doing this for free in the deck anyways, so this essentially just means that your Digi-Evolution for your UlforceVeedramon is way cheaper. So we play 4 of it, it's a must-have, in my opinion. We then go into the starter deck Vmon. The reason why I still play this one is because it has 2 things going for it. The first one being the draw from the inheritable, because in the early game it does matter a lot, just getting more and more draws. Even in if you're just promoting like a level 4 or level 5 and you can't fight the level 6, the draw does matter a lot of the time. And the other reason why I play this is because of the your turn effect. It doesn't come up with that much, but what it does is actually very effective at what it does. Just going into an UlforceVeedramon for a memory cost of 4, which is the normal memory cost, is very good in this deck. And yeah, you play 4 of it just because it helps you get to your end game, I guess, a little bit more quicker, but also allows you to recover more and also gets you some draw that is desperately needed early on. Rounding off the rookies, we play 4 EX1 Vmon. The reason why I play 4 of this one as well is because just gaining a memory from unsuspending, very nice, and you'll be doing that a lot in the deck, so it's pretty clear to play 4 of this in my opinion. Let's get into the level 4s, and we'll be starting off with the Veedramon. This is one of the ones that you have to kind of play. There isn't really better Veedramons that you can potentially play, unfortunately. If you play a Tamer, your turn, you get to draw 1, which is quite nice, helps you cycle, and you're inheritable. When you play a blue Tamer, gain 1 memory. So combining this with the other BT11 Vmon, you're able to get 2 memory from just playing a Tamer, which can help you keep turns. So this one is kind of a priority just for that reason. Some people might think this is a bit of an odd choice, but I actually really enjoy it. I'm playing 4 of the starter deck 8 Veedramon. So there's many reasons why I actually like playing this one. I know some people really don't like playing this, but for me, I feel like it is very good at what it does. So if you have 8 or more cards in your opponent, if you're in hand, you can return at your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its own hand and then trash all the Digi-Evolution sources. The reason why I think this is very strong is just due to the fact that there are memory blockers and stuff like that in the format. I think this is a very effective option to getting rid of them, and it's not once per turn. So that is very important if your opponent's playing something like a D Brigade for some reason, or something that just heavily relies on level 3s, you can return them all to your opponent's hand. So I think it's a very effective card, and I play 4 of it for that reason. Finishing off the level 4s, I have 2 Lanamon. This kinda is another enabler for the deck. Allows you to get a level 3 underneath it, and if it does, you gain jamming. The level 3s that you're going to be put under this are going to be very effective, so it could be a draw 1, be a gain a memory, or when it unsuspends, gain a memory also. So very effective level 3s that you can put under here, but in most of the case, it's going to be just a a guy that you go into for game. The jamming does come up sometimes though. If you have a lot of memory that you're being given, having the jamming is quite nice in certain situations, especially if you can go into the UlforceVeedramon at the same time. So we play 2 of the Lanamon. Let's get into our level 5s, and starting off, we were playing the BT11 RB01. Pretty insane card in my opinion. Just allows you to main, spend this Digimon, which is important for the deck anyways, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add all the blue Tamer cards amongst your hand, and put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. And then inheritable, when attacking once per turn, you can activate one of your Renos on play effects. So this essentially just gives your Digimon blocker evade, a searcher, and a searcher for tamers. So for me, it's kind of like a no-brainer. And the suspend is actually very important because we kind of sometimes want to be suspended when we go into our UlforceVeedramon, so we can activate our effects straight away. So very important. I play 4 of this one. I also play 4 of the starter deck one. Yep, shocker, I know. But this one also does a lot for the archetype. The jamming just means that you can swing straight away with this and not have any drawbacks unless you hit like an option card, for example. And then the inheritable just gives your Digimon essentially secure attack +1, because if you're going into this, you've probably already got 8 cards in your hand. So you definitely gain a lot of advantage for having the secure attack +1. Essentially enables your Ulforce to OTK, so you do play 4 of this. Going into the level 4s, shockingly, it's going to be 4 UlforceVeedramon. This card has a lot going for it, and there's a reason why this deck is still being talked about to this day, if I'm being honest. When Digivolving, play a blue Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Just playing a blue Tamer, very, very strong, obviously. Essentially getting the value back straight away from the Digivolve. When you do play a blue Tamer, you can unsuspend this Digimon, which is the reason why we want our RB01 to be suspended most of the time before we go into this. And then the main effect for control anyways, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, return one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon to your opponent's hand. For every blue Tamer you have in play, add 1 to the max level of this Digimon that you can choose for this effect. So essentially, if you're able to get 2 Tamers out, you can start bouncing level 5s, and that is effective enough. If you can get to level 6s, it's pretty much game over. So yeah, this is a very powerful card. There's obviously a reason why this is still being played to this day in Ultimate Cups, and yeah, we play 4 of it obviously. For a little bit of backup, we also play 2 even of the Ulforce X Antibody. Apologies for the proxy here, I do not have a second one for some reason. But you can Digivolve 1 from an Ulforce, which is normal. And then when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon or one of your blue Tamers. And then when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, if you have a blue Tamer at play or this Digimon has UlforceVeedramon in its Digivolution sources, return one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to its owner's hand. So essentially this becomes an additional swing, but also an additional bounce on your turn, and it is very effective for that reason. So we play 2 of it just as kind of like a backup, because we do need to find a level 6 in this deck very quickly. Otherwise the strategy essentially crumbles very quickly. So yeah, we play 2 of this one. And for good measure, to make sure that we do win the game, I play 1 Omnimon. I know people don't really play Omnimon anymore, but if I have option of a card that says win the game, I'm going to be playing the card that says win the game. So it's not searchable, which is probably the problem with this deck, if I'm being honest. But if I have this in my hand, I'm 9 times out of 10 winning the game. So yeah, just getting blitz, unsuspend, and then also protecting yourself very strong. We then get into Tamers, and I know people are going to have some questions about this straight away, but I'm playing 3 Rena. If I'm being honest, I would play 4 if I own 4, but I don't own 4. So keep that in mind. But this essentially is the big card of the deck. On play, give one of your Digimon essentially blocker and evade. When it becomes unsuspended, you can gain a memory, and then when it becomes suspended, you can activate one of your Digimons when Digivolving effects. So most of the time, we'll be using the Ulforce to play out another Tamer, and then do the combo again. So that's the main loop that you'll be doing with this deck. Again, if you have 4, I would definitely play 4. Then I'm going to be playing 3 Taikamiya V-Tamer. Again, I know people really like to play this at 4, but I only play this at 3. The reason why I only play this at 3 is because I just feel like there's a point where you don't need to find this card anymore. because you're already cycling through your deck quite a lot with the Taikamiya as is. What this essentially is that it's a draw one, and then once you get to your late game, this becomes the tamer that you digivolve your Lanamon on top of. So it's very effective, and you definitely play free of it. Just getting that consistency is very important. Now, I know people are going to have questions about this one, but I think it's actually kind of like a no-brainer. But I think my build overall was a bit more greedy than others. I'm playing 2 Arena from BT2. The reason why I played this one is because the search is very important for the deck. What I like to think of this card is as a additional memory boost. I don't play memory boosts in my build at the moment, and it's been working out pretty well for me. This card is essentially a substitute because you're able to get a search, you're able to get additional 1k DP, which matters sometimes, and you're able to activate this multiple times from your RB01 on play, inheritable on play effect. So very important card, I think. I've tried playing it without the card, and I've lost quite a bit of consistency. I don't think the memory boosts are as good as they once were in this deck. So for me, I like having the Arena, so I play 2 of it. I also play 2 Sora and Joe, just another control tool for the deck, but sometimes the additional 2 memory obviously makes a huge difference. It just matters sometimes getting the additional 2 memory, and if you can get 2 memory for free from your opponent being aggressive or anything like that, you take it. So essentially we're just playing a bunch of the good blue tamers, so I'll be playing 2 of this. But this could easily be replaced for another Taikamiya and the additional Arena if you have those cards available to you. I also play 2 Davis. Like I said before, search is very important, but this card is actually very broken in this deck, if I'm being perfectly honest, because 3 is the magic number in this case, because essentially you're able to, well, in most cases, if you go into level 5, and then you go into level 6, and then pass turn, you're able to continue your turn most of the time from that because of your inheritables that allow you to gain memory back. So 3 is the magic number, helps you keep turn, and yeah, it's very strong for that reason. Rounding it up, we have the 1 Ice Wall. I only have like 1 float spot, and I was thinking of playing some more hard removal in this deck, but I think my hard removal is in the level 6 slot, obviously, so just felt like I kind of wanted a bit more disruption or a way to pass the turn with little memory for my opponent as possible, and in most scenarios that was Ice Wall. So I feel like Ice Wall is obviously still a very strong card. It's limited for a reason and fits well in the deck as well. So I played 1 of it. Anyways, that has been the deck profile for UlforceVeedramon. Definitely my build is a bit more of greed, let's just say, but I feel like it has some really unique points, and I feel like Ulforce hasn't been fully explored in my testing. So this is the current build that I have currently. If you enjoyed this deck profile, please do like and subscribe to the channel. As usual, there'll be a link to the deck in the description down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.